We also have people saying that they think Kevin Albert came into the bar. So he is talking to them. He's talking to John. But keep your eyes on him. So he's saying, there it is, 20 minutes before he's about to lose his life, fake punching.
God, man, you got to think that Higgins is waving at Karen.
Now the question is there a moment where John gets upset? Maybe John walks into that house hot and looking to fight. Where is the moment where Higgins originally gets upset? It is our Monday nooner, which means it is time for I, Samantha Beningo, and my co-host, Loophole lawyer. Hi, Vin.
Your openings are amazing. Whenever I'm on the treadmill, I can put it on there and know I can get basically a half a mile out of it.
None of them are embarrassing me. They found my porn searches. That's one thing they found. One of my searches on there, they're like, he looked for a male porn star.
Look at that. Look at this. Look, he put his pelvis right into him.
Is it?
Right
Definitely.
there. She just pushed him.
She pushed him.
And not even pay attention.
I like it though. I'm learning to like the 4-minute open. At first it was like, why are these openings so long? But actually I like it now.
Yeah,
it's good.
I generally can't last 4 minutes.
This is so important though. I mean, when I saw this, because I think what you and I have been trying to figure out, and this is what you sort of tasked this a long time ago. Because originally, even when I first sort of met you, you were saying, where is the spark? Like, where is the moment where Higgins originally gets upset, right? And starts kind of getting into the threatening mode. Now the question is different. Now the question is there a moment where John gets upset? Maybe John walks into that house hot and looking to fight, right? So I was also looking at that video to see whether or not he's seeing Brian Higgins flirting with Karen, or does he look angry? Like, does he see that push? There are people who have since messaged me saying that they think he does. We also have people saying that they think Kevin Albert came into the bar. So I did take some screenshots of that. This is the person that people suspect might be Kevin Albert. Let me play it and see what you guys think. So he is talking to them. He's talking to John. John points at him and then he leaves. And that's like the extent of it. I mean, he's not there long. Difficult to say, could be, certainly, but I don't think he hangs out very long. If he does, he makes an appearance, then he's gone pretty quick.
Yeah, so you bring up this good point. All of a sudden, I'm getting all these messages, and there's a mystery man looking at the group. And I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but I've never seen this guy at all, ever. Who the hell is this? I thought maybe someone was doing some fucking AI, putting just a random guy looking at the crew. And I don't think he has anything to do with necessarily anything, but you never know. There could be a world where John O'Keefe, who now knows Brian Higgins ghosted him for 14 days, you see that they're standoffish after the initial. You see now once his girlfriend is bending over and pushing Brian in a playful manner, and Brian does that talk to her. He hears that. And then as Brian Higgins is leaving, he could be saying, come outside, not to fight, but to whatever. Give me more of what I need. It doesn't have to be hooking up, but just something. And John is the one that actually sees it. So there could be a world where it's John O'Keefe is going to this house for a fight. Yeah. And Karen Reed very well knows it too. And that's the reason why potentially she's not been so open with us about Brian Higgins.
Brian Higgins?
And one thing we do see in all these text messages that they took from Aiden's phone is there's so little focus on Brian Higgins by Karen Reed. So little. Everything is Proctor.
Proctor! Proctor! Where is Proctor?
And we know Proctor does a horrible investigation. And we know he said the things about her.
She's a whack job. CUNT.
But he didn't kill John O'Keefe. There's a very great chance Karen knew going there. Unfortunately, that John wanted to fight.
The reason why Karen might not want anyone to know that John was going in hot is because it somehow could be looked at as incriminating. It gives her a motive too. The first trial, Lally's theory was that she did all this on purpose. So part of the reason why she would keep that a secret potentially, that they were fighting and they were fighting about Higgins,
Brian Higgins,
is because she doesn't want the prosecution to think that, because then it makes her more guilty.
Yeah, and I get that. And there's a great chance that's what she did, and it worked, obviously. And she wouldn't be guilty of any type of murder or anything whatsoever.
No,
So
of course not.
I get that she wouldn't want it, but it is suspect now based upon what we've seen. And I said I've changed my complete tune with regard to Brian Higgins and him leaving and him having to snap. And perhaps this was not anything aggressive towards John until it looks like John does see it while they're walking out. And that, obviously, coupled with what you saw, is definitely something. And John keeps staring at Brian Higgins and Brian Albert making out. He even says something to him like right at the end, because these two are like so close to each other. And there's a psychological reason why Brian Higgins is doing that. And I don't think Brian Albert is even aware of this. He's just sort of goofy and drunk and whatever, the alpha guy that they're all trying to groom. And one thing I also didn't realize is how much Jen McCabe was all over John O'Keefe. And even Matt, they were doing that group hug. And there's something to that there. I'm not saying that they're hooking up, but she definitely would hook up with John if given the chance.
She definitely has a crush on John. I've always felt that way, just based on everything we see from her. Yeah, that's why I think, I don't think she wanted to see anything bad happen to John, right?
Yeah, no. That's why I nicknamed her Precious Angel. If Brian Higgins was your boy for all this time and then you haven't spoken to him for 14 days, something has to be in your mind that something is up. And then you see your girlfriend flirting, and I don't know if he was recognizing Higgins keep looking over the hood thing and then waiting around for Karen, but he possibly could have.
He could have had an eye on it in a way we don't see. John goes right, because it looks like he's closing up, but actually he grabs another beer.
Yeah, and he's talking to the guy from the band, and then his buddy just walked. It would be odd for me if you just like walk out if we were friends. He does the hood thing again, then he starts the pointing.
And at this point, right, we've already seen Karen do the touching, obviously, because they're leaving now.
Yeah, it's already been done. See.
All right.
God, man, you got to think that Higgins is waving at Karen.
It does look like he was waving at Karen.
Yeah, he doesn't know anyone else there. But then John turns around. Then he sees them. See, like, it's almost as if John catches him signaling.
I think he signaled to both of them, honestly. I think he was first signaling. Yeah, so there's the little dance, but he does it again. So that was the part that I was looking for, because somebody in our chat had suggested to go look for that.
Right, and he does call Chris Albert over with that. He's squaring up the tab now.
Yep. It's weird. It's like, that's pretty strange. I don't know what to make of it, but it's strange. Those guys have already gone. Think about what happens to John. On this night, 20 minutes before he's about to lose his life, he's like, fake punching. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you do know, because, again, we're looking at some of the few people on the entire earth that could have killed him are there right now, right? Because there's only 10. You can include Karen in there, right? If you want to include her, include her. There's only 10. But you can see Matt McCabe and Jen McCabe. They are so friendly with those two. They
love them.
Right. There's no animosity whatsoever. Because the initial theories that I was hearing is that they was trying to lure John back. This meaning Jen McCabe and Matt, to harm him. I just can't put any weight in that anymore. But John's by himself right now. And Karen's talking to, is that Karina or Jen?
It's Karina. Okay. Jen is over next to Chris.
I wish Nick the Greek would know more, considering he's fucking there. He should know more. He's not an idiot. He's an attorney. Well, I guess anyone. I know.
We should. I wish we could. Karina probably has more information too. Just she's right there too.
What I noticed is that Karina was definitely more of the social
here it is.
butterfly.
Wait, time out. Hold on, wait. So here it is. So first he does, so I'm going to just pause it. So first he does the little dance that we just saw earlier. And then if you keep watching him, it's 12:01:35. So he's doing the little dance again. There it is. You keep your eyes on him. So he's saying, there it is.
Yeah, 12:01:42. Was he talking to Chris Albert when he was doing this?
Yeah, I think he's talking to Chris and Jen, and Matt is there too.
I think like only Chris, because Chris was sort of in the middle of when he's grabbing the arm. Again, it may be unrelated, but I understand when this happens, you pull a guy over. You don't pull a girl over and say, oh, this guy's being an asshole, I want to fight with him. You would pull a guy like Chris, sort of your friend, and say like, oh, I would whip his ass if he ever tried anything. Because this is more of a projection thing, that you're sort of a peacocking thing on his level, saying like, that guy can't fuck with me, I would whip his ass. If
Feels like it
what
could
we're
be,
seeing
right?
is true. Well, yeah, I mean, what else could it be? You're not going to do that. You're not going to do this because you're dancing. You're doing it because you're indicating that you can fight.
Yeah, it's
But
weird.
again, he's the one that's confused, though. Karen knows that this is a possibility. He's doing it right there. He doesn't know that these two met privately behind his back. I mean, he knows
That's
that he
true.
hasn't spoken to his friends for 14 days and that he just left without saying goodbye, except for this to his girlfriend. The
That's a
big
good
difference
point.
in mindset.
Sorry, the only thing in the text that we do get from Karen about Higgins is that he was like all over her all the time.
Yeah, so the girls uncovered the text following the pizza text saying that Higgins was all over her. She never put a pinky on him, which we know is not true. She's the one that planted the kiss on him, which is obviously critical. And also she put her whole hand on Brian Higgins that night that we saw.
Yeah, it's so bizarre that nobody ever brings that up on either side. I mean, that's so bizarre. How does
They
nobody
didn't
ever
see it, Sam.
any of this?
They didn't see it because you don't have the time. You should have the time, but you don't. When you're a small little law firm like an Alan Jackson and David Unity, they don't have all the resources that we do. They have lives. We have no lives. We're sitting here on Valentine's Day looking at their video. None of us have gotten any action since Valentine's Day. We're still watching these videos. It's true, though, unfortunately.
They're so funny.
Sad but true. Because Sam and I don't have much of a social life, we host the weekly show every single Monday, 12 Eastern Standard Time on Samantha's channel. Join us over there. It's fun. We only cover the Karen Reed case, but no matter what, we will never, ever stop covering this case until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.
the defendant, kissed me.
How did she kiss you?
Not like a friend.
Lip to lip, is that fair to say?
Yes.
And what was your reaction to that?
I was taken back.